idea. Early in this century, it was apparent that in the future, optometry would no longer be recognized as simply a craft. New schools were being founded, and state governments were requiring licensure. More people were becoming interested in optometry as a career. The profession was taking more interest in eye health. It would be almost 40 years into the 20th century before continuing education became mandatory in some states for ODs. Yet in the 1920s, there were men and women who saw the long-term value of continuing education to optometry. In 1923, two optometrists practicing together in Greenville, South Carolina, heard about a unique education event to be held in Boston, independent of the American Optometric Association. This event was produced by a newly formed organization to provide a learning opportunity for the optometric practitioner. Dr. Archie Odom, the younger partner, went to Boston to see what was being offered. His experience became the inspiration for an idea. Archie knew that optometrists in the South needed this kind of event. Together, he and his partner, Dr. Adolf Schade, a German immigrant, began putting together an education program. They had little financial support, and it took a lot of effort to persuade people to lecture without pay. A meeting site had to be selected, and the event had to be promoted. It must have been frustrating at times, but these two men were determined to see it through. After months of hard work, the Southeastern Educational Congress of Optometry opened on June 23, 1924, at Textile Hall in Greenville, South Carolina. At that time, Textile Hall was one of the largest facilities of its kind in the South. So to ensure that speakers would have an audience, Dr. Odom convinced the North and South Carolina Optometric Societies to hold their annual state meetings during the Congress. With each succeeding year, this annual event grew as more doctors realized the value of continuing education to their practice. By the 1930s, optometrists from 14 states and Washington, D.C. were involved in the Congress. By 1938, when the Iowa legislature required mandatory continuing education for the profession, optometry in the South was well prepared to meet this requirement, should it occur in their region. Florida became the first state in the South to require continuing education for license renewal. As continuing education played a stronger role in the practice, more ODs saw the advantages in attending this annual event. After almost 20 years of steady growth, this Congress was well established as a major provider of the kind of information optometry needed in order to progress. This commitment to quality and the consistent support from doctors throughout the South carried the Southeastern Congress through the tough years of World War II and the post-war era. Programs at the Southeastern Congress were steadily building a foundation of knowledge and skills, which was to have a profound effect on the advancement of the profession. In 1971, when the profession was ready to claim its right to use pharmaceuticals, optometrists in the South were prepared to demonstrate their ability to provide primary eye care. There is no doubt that the Southeastern Congress contributed much to this major advancement. Think of it. More progress has been made in optometry in the last 20 years than in all the years since it was first licensed back in 1901. One must question if the profession could have achieved so much in such a short time had it not been for events like the Southeastern Congress. In the last 10 years, this annual event has attracted optometrists from every state, and now we see colleagues from other countries coming to learn. During this time, its name has changed from the Southeastern to the Southern Educational Congress of Optometry. More recently, it's become known simply as SECO. But as this major venue for optometry continues to grow, it remains Southern in its name and in its heart. SECO means more than just education to the practitioner. It means getting together. It means sharing ideas and being a part of a changing profession. As this century draws to an end, no one really knows what lies ahead for optometry. You can be sure, though, that the Southern Council leadership has been planning well into the future. Ours is an advancing profession. So this leadership has been preparing our annual event to meet the educational challenges we expect in the next century. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to show you Inforum, the new home for SECO in the 90s. Yes, introducing a new home for SECO as perfect as today's technology can make it. Inforum, a 1.5 million square foot technology environment and convention center. It's more than a facility for our annual meeting. It's a place where we are in touch with the latest technology trends, products, and information to help us focus on the future needs of optometry. Here is a learning environment for our education programs and space for a fantastic display of ophthalmic products and equipment. In its permanent computer and telecommunications showrooms, we'll have an opportunity to see demonstrations designed for tomorrow's practice. Architect and developer John Portman has created Inforum. Mr. Portman has a track record of exceptional service spanning 27 years to ensure that our annual event will be exciting, productive, and beneficial. Beginning next year, SECO becomes the focal point of activities in Inforum. Here we have space to grow, with 15 meeting rooms for hands-on workshops, lectures using live patients, and the latest technology demonstrations. The advancements we have made over the past 66 years have brought us all the way from Greenville's Textile Hall to downtown Atlanta's Inforum, a facility built for a progressive profession. Leaders in healthcare who refuse to be unequipped for the future. As major healthcare providers, our contributions have made a difference in how millions of people view the world. We have enriched the lives of others by our skills. Inforum is the place we will come to appreciate as our educational resource in the continued pursuit of excellence. Just as our predecessors envisioned a Congress to help optometry grow in knowledge, John Portman envisioned a technology resource center where professionals like us could come together and enhance our ability to serve others. Inforum will become a part of our history as we work together to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Surely these two men would be proud to see how far we have come and to see the results of what they began.